What's going on, everybody? Fly tying evolution again. Today I'm going to do a caddis pupa. I've got a size 12 grub hook in the vise with a countersunk tungsten bead with some wraps of 020 lead-free wire behind the bead. I'm going to start my thread right behind that lead-free wire. Clip out my tag end of my thread, and then I'm going to build up a little tape ramp up to that thread, or that lead-free wire, so we have a smooth transition. A little ramp up like that, and then take your thread up over that lead-free wire, secure that, and run your thread back to about right there. Next thing I'm going to tie in is a caddis nymph skin natural latex color. To tie that in, I'm going to trim a little taper into it, just like that. And then I'll run my thread back up just behind that lead-free wire. I'll catch the tip of that in and bind it down pretty good, and then give it a stretch and tie it down as you stretch it all the way back to where you ended your thread wraps. I'll run my thread back up, and I'll try to keep that taper in here. And we're about a bead length back from the bead itself. Now I'm going to wrap this nymph skin in. And you can stretch it when you first start wrapping to keep your wrap small. And then release tension on it as you go work up your fly. When you overlap about halfway in between the last segment and the next one. That gives you that nice segmented effect, like right here. Okay, I'm going to tie that off right there. I'm using tan Semperfly 12-aught thread here. Okay, I'll give that a stretch. Trim it out. Stretching it makes it suck back underneath your thread wraps. And then I'll finish wrapping that in. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make a dubbing loop. I'm going to lock that dubbing loop off and run my thread up just behind the bead. And in my material clip here, I got some ginger colored CDC. And I'm going to put my dubbing loop spinner in the thread, and then put that CDC in that thread, and give that thread a spin, that dubbing loop a spin, trapping that CDC in this twist of the thread. And then I'm going to wrap that in. Wrap that in all the way to the till you run out of CDC, then tie the loop off. 3 good wraps. Then I'll trim that loop out of there. And for the remainder of this, I come in with some black ice dub. And dub a little noodle on my thread here. I'll push that up and wrap that in. And then I'll get my whip finish tool. And I'll put a 4 or 5 turn whip finish on there. Seat that knot. Trim that thread out. Now, if you don't like the look of all these long ones, you can just come in and hold them to a length you like, and then just take your fingernail on your other hand and break those out of there. Sometimes I like the long ones, but that looks pretty good. Hope you like that pattern. If you like what I'm doing, subscribe and like the videos. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.